Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Business, and I'm covering the Tier 7 Japanese battleship, the Nagato. Generally speaking, I hated this ship in CBT. It was by far my least favorite, along with the Baltimore, actually. That was just a terrible ship in CBT for me, and a couple others, but this is actually a lot better than I remember it, and various changes and whatnot certainly helped. You could see that it is not that fast. It does have a max speed of around 25 knots. The engine upgrade is pretty minimal in terms of what it provides. Always the biggest thing about any of the engine upgrades is the acceleration, but looking at the stats on the main battery here, when you upgrade the hull, you get around a 31 or 32 second reload. The turret speed, the turret traverse is excellent actually, 47.5 seconds before any of the captain skills, so that's actually really good. Certainly better than pretty much anything else other than the Amagi and the Azuma, which have really nice turret traverses as well. The dispersion is 231 meters. I don't think that's exactly true. If you go up to the Amagi and mess around with that, you'll find that it's nowhere near as accurate as this. And in fact, the Amagi was my most played ship in CBT. I had nearly 400 matches in it. It was my go-to ship for breaking any of my slumps, and it's total crap now. I can't play it. I told my squad mate that I'll give it 20 more matches, and then I'm probably just gonna abandon the line for a while. If it doesn't seem to pick up. The AA on the Nagato is total garbage, especially in the the default form. It is just bad. The hull upgrade, I really wish they would break these upgrades up a little bit more so you could actually help defend yourself against air attack and not have to suffer through however many rounds to get the hull upgrade. But anyways, the hull upgrade does help with the AA, makes you slightly more capable of defending yourself. And I kind of sold off my Nagato by accident, so yeah, these 4 slots here are the same ones that I would use on the Nagato. I'm using the Amagi as the example, of course. But just rolling into some clips here, the weird thing is I don't remember the Nagato being anywhere near as accurate as this. And I'm just minding my own business, sending a salvo at that Atago. It's the opening minutes of the round. Well, okay. And just a moment later, watching Kami eat some torps here. I'm pretty sure it was from the Atago that was just killed. And the Atlanta's down. Alright. And just a few minutes after that, load up HE. Got Hatsuharu here. First one's going to the drink. Everything else right into his side there. So, I don't know what the hell. Sometimes it just happens that way. This particular clip, we had defended our cap really well, and then we only had a few minutes left in the match. We decided to say screw it and go right up the middle, try to join our team in the enemy cap, which, as you can see from the map, wasn't really what was happening. So, this is one of those moments where you really don't want to do this in any other situation. Like, if you don't have to do it, don't do it. Running up the middle on 2 brothers is such a bad idea. You'll see why again in a moment. But this chaos is awesome. Like, I love the fact that there's so many torpedoes in the water. I mean, I don't like them, don't get me wrong. And all these shots are coming in at us, and they're trying desperately to take us down. This is exactly what a battleship should be doing, and if there's a chance to change the game, you do it. You can see these secondaries doing some serious work here. Took out that Fuso pretty well. I was hoping to get that Furutaka, but I ended up getting the destroyer though with the secondary fire, so back on Two Brothers, which you'll have a lot at tier 7. So just prepare yourself. So poor little mermaid, I don't know what the hell he's thinking. I mean, it's like, what, 3 minutes into the match or something, and everybody's here. You know, we have a carrier. We can definitely see through the channel here with some air cover and whatnot. So he goes down, and got a Clemson here as well. He's rethinking his life choices. You can see the secondaries are obviously the IJN hired a bunch of Stevie Wonders to take care of their secondary guns, and he goes down right away too. So I really didn't give the ship enough credit, actually. I feel terrible about it now because it's actually a lot better than I remember, but I mean, granted, when I had the Nagato originally in CBT, I didn't have anywhere near the experience that I did after, you know, moving on from it. And the last time I played it, before getting it here in OBT just a week and a half ago, something like that, and you see this Nicholas coming up here, I was kind of worried. I wasn't going to be able to get my HE loaded in time, and this Furutaka, I'm not entirely sure if he noticed him or what, but either way, yeah, I was hoping to knock him out right there, but that just didn't happen. There's a Warspite rounding the corner. I was really worried that he'd just dump his rounds right into my Citadel there, but luckily that didn't happen. And Kamikaze is heading backwards, so he'll avoid the torps. But anyways, the amount of battleship matches I played afterwards, like, I mean, completely blows everything else out of the water as far as what I played when I had the Nagato in the closed beta test. And you can see even the New York can angle very well against this ship. These cannons, it's all about the angle. If I shot 2 seconds earlier, he would have been wiped out right there. You can see I'm trying to get the right lead for the Warspite. He's only 7 kilometers away. I actually have some problems trying to get those shots correct because I find that I tend to overshoot those more often. I compensate too much for lead. There's an Omaha back there as well. Any of the fire breathers, you gotta get them out as soon as you can whenever the opportunity arises. I'm just mentioning in the chat there too, the time, because we're nowhere near their base and we have to make sure that we kill them if we're gonna, you know, make anything happen this match. So always keep in mind the time, because generally you're playing more against that than you are the enemy team. And really good penetration there on the Warspite, despite the angle, actually. I was, again, one of those opportunities that, yeah, you just wish you had something loaded and ready to go. I don't have an angle on him now, even with the shells loaded up, so got the Warspite taking evasive, but doesn't matter. Warspites actually don't seem to hold up terribly well to other battleship fire, or actually I just don't think they seem to have very good armor to begin with. I've never played it, so I can't say for sure, of course, but you know, as far as like the Fuso, the New Mexico, the Nagato, they do excellent against the Warspite. So this New York, he's going to be really, really nice here and turn right like that and give me his whole side. And I just march it down his bow just a little bit and do a whole hell of a lot of damage. So that's good. This pretty much took him out of the match. Now my main concern is the Atlanta. I'm reloading. I think at this point I was already expecting the torps to be on their way. And that just wasn't the case. I was kind of looking to see if he had the splashes in, you know, like right here. I didn't notice anything, so generally I don't do very well in these situations. I tend to eat a lot of torps this way just because I like closing the gap and just absolutely ripping into ships, but I can admit some of my faults here. But managed to survive the torps. I probably shouldn't have turned so much to begin with there, but whatever. He gets nailed by a torp here. Or actually, no, my secondaries take him out. That's right. So, these are pretty good secondaries, by the way. I mean, like I said, they're all over the place in terms of their accuracy. I mean, you could very clearly see that. I made a mistake there. You'll see what happened. The magazine was critically damaged. I should have angled to take that right on the tip of the bow. That's very, very close to the detonation spot, like where it hits the forward magazine and just annihilates whatever health you have. That was really, really poorly played by me, and almost took me out of the match a few minutes early. I mean, I'm dead anyways. I have everything on cooldown. I'm not going to be able to survive this, especially as I'm losing health to this Omaha that's running away. But I can take him with me, because you can still Citadel like that. So, and of course, I died, so not really much happened at the end of this particular match. But now this one, however, Montana's, Iowa's, North Carolina's, and we have Montana, North Carolina, a few Amagis, my Nagato, and Kami's Colorado. This was a total slugfest, just exactly what battleship versus battleship type of combat should be. I do speed it up here just to get into the thick of things, which luckily doesn't take too long for that to happen. There is a bug with the Iowa where, you know, the superstructure won't take any damage after a certain point, especially fire damage, but I've seen AP damage do nothing against it at all. I'm having a harder time playing right now the higher tiers because of that, because you're going to face a lot of Iowas when you're in tier 7, and then more when you're tier 8, so on and so forth. I seem to have, and there's a nice little Citadel against the Montana, so I seem to have a bit of an issue with against North Carolina's. I just can't seem to damage them the way I can in, like, if I take a New Mexico, for instance, like I've decimated North Carolina's in that. If I take a Nagato or the Amagi, I can't do anything against them, and I don't know why. So I guess I just got to play the Amagi a little bit more, but seems like there's a bit of a discrepancy there, and just in my experience, I'm not saying that's proof of this or that. It doesn't really matter. Everybody's experience is going to be different, because in CBT I found them to be North Carolina's to be incredibly easy to kill, and not only that, I think they were horribly overrated ships. It seems like there have been adjustments behind the scenes that I'm not aware of, and that the North Carolina is apparently more accurate than it used to be. So if that's the case, that's good when I finally get through the Colorado, because I still haven't played a match in that yet. I'm scared, honestly. It's just one of those things I don't want to deal with, but get some good hits against the Nagato here. Take him down almost to nothing, actually. Pretty short order. And trying to stay away from the destroyer. Really not what I want to deal with right now. Not with all these battleships. I don't need any torp hits to screw me over in my fight against the tier 9 and 10 monsters. So we're positioning here. It initially looked like they were going to do an 8-line rush, and that didn't really turn out to be the case at all. You see me do something here that I almost never do, and that's come to a stop. I really don't like not moving. It's just my paranoia starts to stack up exponentially over time. I feel like somebody's going to just wreck me with a single hit, you know. And Like right now, I'm looking at those torpedoes, and I'm like, no, this can't happen. It's like it sucks because the battleships drift quite a bit. The cruisers can apparently stop on a dime, but when it comes to the battleships, it's not quite like that. Although I still think their deceleration is pretty impressive. So you can see the Mogami there is pretty heavily damaged. They have both Montanas. They've taken some hits, and I'm trying to have the patience to wait for a decent shot. I want to make sure that I can, do some actual damage. There's a slight angle here against the Montana, but I'm pretty sure I can work with that. But I overshoot, so nothing much happened there. Now this Iowa, however, he makes things a little easier for everybody. So when the Tago's up at the front there, everybody's still dumping into the Mogami. You obviously can see what's going to happen here. So everybody's going to train their guns on the guy, and you see 79,000 health. Let's just see how fast that goes down. I mean, I don't care if you have an Iowa, Montana, the Yamato. There we go, everybody. You're not going to last long if you've got your side exposed to that many battleships. He's way down on health now. He lost, a good 66% of it in just mere seconds. You got to really pay attention to your heading and whatnot. Don't make a mistake like that. I've done it myself, and I hope I've learned. I hope I'm not going to have that happen again anytime soon. But now the Iowa takes notice of me after this salvo, and I decide to try to get moving as soon as I can. I'm really not sure which way I want to go because I don't want to head out towards the channel and expose myself further to either torps or HE spam, that sort of thing. Got the Montana in the back there. I'm not able to get the lead on him at all with, especially with my shell still being reloaded. But so the Iowa's heading backwards. I didn't adjust for that enough, and don't manage much of anything on him, as you can see right there, all splashes. But so generally, trying to figure out what the hell is happening here. I really don't like matches like this sometimes, just because it's such a slow burn in terms of the actual gameplay itself. You're trying to wait for somebody to blink first, and that sort of already happened because apparently they tried to go 8-line and it didn't work, or they tried to put a lot of their power over there, and we were able to dissuade them from going any further. We're cutting off the edges over here. You can see on the map, though, there's a destroyer, and it's being called out right now. Fortunately, I can't really help with that. I gotta still focus on these guys, and if there's anybody who's coming up the gut here on the 5-line, sent some shells off to the Atago. Not like I expected them to hit. He's an evasive. And generally, they actually, when the Atago's driven by somebody who is paying attention, they can be pretty damn deadly ships. Most of the time, they're not, because they just get knocked out like right at the start. But I've mentioned that before. But let's see. We're about to get that destroyer knocked out, and we're gonna head on south on the 5-line, sending some shots down to the Mogami, who's really survived quite a long time for the lack of health that he's had. And I just got that my Mogami last night. I've had it actually researched for a while. I just haven't bought it. I'll say that I'm not looking forward to the changes coming up in patch 4.1 for the Mogami's turrets. I think they're already weak enough. I don't see why they need to make it any weaker. But hopefully there's some other fixes in there too, because in the training grounds, the testing site or whatever that you can use for like if you use Aslane's mod. I only have a couple things active on there, as you can tell. I mean, I don't have any icons or this or that. Oh, and yeah, that's a lot of 16-inch cannons looking right at me. So, oh god, I thought I was so screwed here, but luckily, sometimes other people's aim is as bad as mine, or you know, I just maybe they didn't expect me to make that particular maneuver. So, a lot of shells going overhead. But yeah, the training grounds, the Mogami is horribly weak with HE and everything against particular ships, namely the Iowa. There's just nothing really happens to the Iowa after a certain point, which is unfortunate. But luckily, if you have cannons such as the Nagatos, you can make this happen, and that makes it all the better. I'm okay with that, I'll be honest. And actually, looking back on it, it's even more satisfying knowing how many times I've had trouble with the Iowa, you know, in other games. But we're starting to head down the 5 line here, making a push. Kamikaze's on my right, and he'll actually branch off to the right between the islands there on the 5 line, since we're sort of 5-6 line, whatever. I have a pretty good ratio of citadels to normal hits. This is definitely above average. I think I ended up with about 150,000 damage this match. I only had 30 hits, and well, actually, was it about 36 hits, something like that total. And, you know, I had more citadels than I normally do. It's just one of those games where it actually worked. Things, you know, the accuracy, dispersion, the RNG, whatever, it all came into play and came together to actually make me punch above my weight. Can't say that for the Amagi yet, but I'm hoping that happens sometime soon. But land another citadel in Dadatago. I end up killing him that way too, but I eat a torp here as well. I do die because I'm walking right into all their battleships, so I just wanted to end this with a particular clip showing the capability of everybody's least favorite ship, the Colorado. You still can't underestimate the power that those cannons have, and you'll see exactly why in a moment. But either way, just wanted to say thanks for joining me with another video here. I hope you guys are enjoying. 100 subscribers. Actually, I'm like 125 now. Really excited about that. I have had, what was it, when I put up my first World of Warships video, I was at 54, and now I'm at, like, you know, 120, 130. So pretty exciting. It makes me feel a little bit more motivated to do these videos, so I really appreciate the feedback. And let's see, I do have some small plans in the future, but see how that goes. But either way, say goodnight to this Montana. Well, not goodnight. He does live for just a little bit longer. But appreciate you watching, and I'll see you back here soon. Take care.